It's just one of those things where I was like, these are really cool. I have to have every single one I can possibly find now.
I think so often that is where the most collectible stuff finds its home and becomes collectible, is because people like yourself see the value in it.
Yeah.
Doug said he couldn't sell some of that shit at flea markets 5-10 years ago for $20. And when you see it all together like this, people have been asking about it all day. People have been asking you guys, can I buy this? Can I buy that? Now it's not for sale. All right, go for it.
So this guy sells a bunch of really gross stuff in Tallahassee, Florida. You all know him and love him as Doug, Junkman Doug of Picked.
I own a store in Tallahassee called Picked. Obviously, we specialize in Florida State memorabilia and vintage. But I got into vintage through collecting antiques. So, which is kind of like why this exists. Buy, sell, trade, cool old FSU stuff. And this is Josh, aka Dave. You're gonna have to ask him that story yourself. He sells Gator stuff.
Dumb nickname I got in high school. My handwriting was so bad, my teacher got Dave Ritter out of Joshua Rittenauer. And now I'm Dave. If people call to complain, I'm like, Dave's not here, it's just Josh, sorry. I buy, sell, trade, collect everything Florida Gators. I went to UF, been a Gator fan my whole life, and just really, really love it. I love Gator goodies. I mean, I've been doing this since about 2010. It's been a long time. Like all this stuff, once I get it, I've never sold any of this stuff.
Yeah, I started with vintage in like 2017, 2018. Would find this stuff when we were looking for clothes, but my customer base is mainly students, and they're not really. They can appreciate what it is for its cool factor, but they don't want to spend money on it. And I would put stuff out at pop-ups, and people would ask, oh, how much is this? I told them, $20 or $30, and they always thought it was so expensive. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm keeping it. No one can buy it anymore. I'm just gonna keep it. So 6 or 7 years, I guess, of doing that has led to this.
Only one? I have a lot of words. Disgusting comes to mind off the top of my head. Wait, I changed it to overrated. Okay.
I was gonna go with washed.
Oh, washed is a good one. Yeah, I changed it to that.
No, I'm taking washed.
The jockstrap. The 1992 Sugar Bowl jockstrap may or may not have been used in the game. You have to sniff it to find out. This old equipment manager that worked for the Gators like forever had that one and a 95 Sugar Bowl jockstrap. And I was like, dude, are these for sale? And he's like, you want those? It's like, a lot. I really do.
No, we just, what we got to do is get some B-roll of you like bending over to pick up a shirt, and the strap is just popping out of the shorts. Man, that's tough. I think, besides the obvious, I really like this little tiny hat right here. I found it in like this old like general store in Georgia, and it was like just one of those things where I've never thought to myself, I need to find a mini FSU hat. But you're out and you find it, and you're like, oh shit, my life's complete. I've got this tiny ass hat. It's great.
And on the flip side, I used to have a giant like mascot hat that Albert would have worn that was like this big, but the football team lost it.
Damn, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to the hat.
Yeah, I lent the team some stuff and it disappeared.
Damn, that's tough. From a personal perspective, probably the pillow up here. Because those like pillow patches are from like the 40s and 50s, and they're just like impossible to find.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And when you find them, they're usually like they're chewed up, like they're moth-eaten and they're destroyed. I've got like an FSU one, but it's like somebody had to literally patch it with like newer material because it was so eaten up.
I really like, so that guy there, the yellow hat, it's called a rat cap. So a rat, like R-A-T, freshmen were referred to as rats.
Rat cap.
Yeah, so you'd get them whenever you were a freshman and you had to like wear it your whole like first semester and stuff.
Yeah.
I have one on my wall. The UF ones are dated. So the 3/8 is actually the graduating year. So that hat is actually from 1934. All the writing on there, it was a big tradition where they would write like scores of games, like stuff about other teams, you know, fuck Georgia, whatever. And I haven't been able to get it. I have a whole collection of Gator ones, but I don't have one like all written over with stuff like that. So I really, really love that.
They were like really big at Georgia Tech. Like if you go, if you look up like Georgia Tech rat cap, like you can find them all over the internet from like the 20s and 30s, and like you said, they've got writing on them. They're really, really cool. He's got a lot of really cool ones. Like he's got some from the 20s. A lot of the FSU ones I get are from like the 60s. I don't get a lot. That one I think is from 51. So because the game scores and stuff are from that year. But his are the ones he gets are crazy old. Yeah.
I'm trying to get one from every graduating year. And I actually have all of them on me because I just brought my bin of like all the cool stuff as we were trying to piece it out. This would be like the kids one that they would give you like, oh, you know, you don't know when you're going to go to UF yet, but one day, so you don't know what your graduating year is yet. And yeah, I have a lot of them. And yeah, just like, it's just one of those things where I was like, these are really cool. I have to have every single one I can possibly find now.
Yeah.
I think UF only has an older one than me, beat by like 4 or 6 years or something. So I'm trying to get one older than they have. I mean, I've been fortunate that I've gotten to work with UF for some different stuff. Like a couple years ago, I lent them a bunch of stuff. The football team used it for their, like whenever high school kids come on their recruit visits, they were all decked out in it, and it kind of like blew up in the college football world, and like all these other schools, including FSU, started ripping it off and recreating it at their schools. And I've worked with like the women's basketball team and stuff like that, so it's cool that like, you know, I get to do stuff with the school that I love. And like to anybody else, they probably don't even really have value. It's just something I found and I thought they were really cool.
I think so often that is where the most collectible stuff finds its home and becomes collectible, is because people like yourself see the value in it, amass the collection, and then when you see them all together like this, or for example, when you see a wall of all this stuff together, you know, Doug said he couldn't sell some of that shit at flea markets 5-10 years ago for $20, but when you see it all on this wall, people have been asking about it all day. People have been asking you guys, can I buy this? Can I buy that? Now it's not for sale, but when it's put together like this, you understand the value of it because it presents itself.
So we have at the wall in our shop, we've got it all FSU'd out, right? Yeah. And so whenever the Florida FSU game's in Tallahassee, Josh comes to town, we'll do a joint pop-up, and we'll split the wall down the middle. So the easy part for this was his stuff came down and the remainder of ours went up. The hard part for us was that we had to basically create a whole second wall because the store's still open. Like we're here, the store's open.
Yeah, so this is the stuff that didn't even make the wall at his store. So that one has even some really cool stuff on it.
So we've got up on the wall is 1958 and 1959. Those are like the first 2 years that FSU and UF played. I don't know the score. I think the first 6 games or 7 games, FSU lost all of them, and we tied once. So, you know, we kind of sucked, but the graphics are really cool.
Rough start.
Yeah. But this is actually the first. This is actually the first FSU UF game that we had.
I actually have the programs from the first 4 times that we met, and they were all from that artist, and then afterwards they weren't the same. I think his name was Paramore or something, but he did programs for a lot of different schools, and his artwork is really, really cool. I haven't been able to find a lot of information on him, but yeah, we didn't meet until 1958, but they're like our biggest rival now, play every year. And when was your guys' first actual season? Like the 40s?
47. So FSU was a women's school from 1905 to 1947. And after World War II, there was a lot of GIs there in Tallahassee. They needed to go to school. And so FSU kind of was like, all right, we'll take them, we'll open it up. And so 47, 48 was the first like co-ed school year. And it was the first school year for like a lot of sports.
Thank you, man.
I've actually, if you guys want to see it, I've got the first FSU football program from the first game we ever played in 47. So these are 3 of like the oldest pieces of like actual Florida State memorabilia. Here is a basketball ticket from 49, which would have been our 3rd season. Second or third. This is a football schedule from our second season.
$1.80 general
Yeah.
admission.
You get a season ticket for $7.
$7, you get all 4 games.
All 4 games.
And if you're in high school, less than $1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then this is the first football program from our first game. But dude, it's nuts. It's only 4 pages. That's Joe Campbell. That's who our stadium's named after. And then it's literally just the team, the coaching staff. That's it. It's 4 pages. Obviously now they're filled with advertisements for businesses, and you know they're 50 pages long. But that was just 4 games that season.
It's hoped that one additional game may yet to be scheduled this season.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's crazy, man. And the really crazy story about this, so I got this from a buddy of mine who has an antique store in Tallahassee called Talcon Trading Company. This woman had this, and it was at the bottom of a box that she told him she was going to throw away. He asked me to look through it. She's like, yeah, go ahead, because I'm going to throw it in the trash anyway. And at the very bottom of the box was that program. So I'll just show you, man.
Wow.
Look at the boxes, you know?
Look everywhere.
Look through the boxes, because there is probably some cool stuff in them.
Like I always say, you have to make your market. Like show people why it's cool. Like if you show them your passion, and like you said, once it's all laid out, they'll go, "Oh yeah, like this is awesome."
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, he just got you with the chop in the background.
It's all right. One of us went 2-10 this year, and one of us didn't.
This has to have been going on all day.